There are many doctrines and teachings of the church which we find difficult to accept. We find the teachings of the church too strict and sometimes lacking compassion. I have many people whose marriages have broken down and they are young. And they ask me, how come the church does not allow us to remarry? Why does the church want to condemn us to a single life for the rest of our life? And there are those who are in same-sex relationship. Why can't the church permit same-sex union? Why can't the church accept gay relationships that are sexual in nature? And there are many who are childless, and they also ask, Father, can we go for in vitro fertilization? Why should we remain childless? We want a child. These are very difficult questions. I can fully empathize with those people in that situation. There are many Catholics who have become resentful of the church. They think that the church is not understanding enough, not accommodating to their needs. They find the teachings of the church redundant, not connected with the reality of the human situation today. And as a result, a number of them have left the church. That is why there are some who don't want to come back to church. Because when they go to church, they feel out of place. They feel ostracized, marginalized. But my dear friends, the bottom line is this. Is it because the church is teaching something that is not true, that is false, and so you cannot accept? Or is it because the church is saying something so true, but we find it difficult to live it out? The reason why we are rejecting these doctrines is because of our rebellious will. We want things our ways. But I know there are many Catholics. They don't want to go for the sacrament reconciliation. They continue to live this kind of irregular life. But deep in their hearts, it is said once you are Catholic forever. We can try to numb our conscience, rationalize, justify that what we do is the right thing. But we know that our heart is not at peace. Our conscience is not at peace. The church, just like Jesus, we cannot compromise the truth, even though it is extremely difficult, because the truth remains the truth. And Jesus was clear about this. When Jesus predicted his passion after St. Peter confessed him as the Son of God, St. Peter said, "May this thing not happen to you." And Jesus replied, "Get behind me, Satan." Jesus chose the hard way. He didn't choose the easy way to win salvation for us. It was not part of God's plan. Jesus was very direct with his disciples. If you want to follow me, take up your cross daily and walk after me. The man who wants to choose the world will lose his life. The teachings of Christ are based on truth. There are many things perhaps we don't understand. This is where St. Augustine helps us. Believe and you will understand. When we believe, we will understand more. It's just that in a relationship, when we try to understand someone, it's very difficult. But when we believe the person, then we can understand. So when we believe in God, God will give us the light of understanding. The ultimate question is, do you believe that Jesus is the Son of God? If Jesus were the Son of God, then everything that Jesus utters, even if we don't understand, even if we find difficult to accept, we will obey. Because we know that our minds are finite. We don't understand many things in this world, not just doctrines. And yet, in faith, we do. We obey. So there are many things in this world we don't understand. What more when you talk about spiritual things? Must we understand completely in order to obey? Especially if that is God who is speaking to us? So, my dear brothers and sisters, even as a bishop, I just want you to know the teachings of the church based on Holy Scriptures are very difficult. I fully empathize with all of you who are struggling to be faithful to the teachings of our Lord. Yet, we do not just follow the teachings of our Lord using our own wisdom, our own strength. We need to rely on the grace of God. We need to turn to Him so that He will grant us the wisdom to be able to see life from the perspective of the eyes of God. And then it will be easier for us to accept. And most of all, that He will give us the grace, the courage to live out the gospel, to live out a life of truth and love.